The New York Yankees are getting closer and closer to finalizing their roster for the start of the new season. And with opening day approaching, every decision inside the organization carries weight. Over the past few days, the front office has been making adjustments that give us a clearer picture of what the team could look like when the season officially begins. Some of those decisions, however, come with difficult consequences, especially for fans who have been eagerly waiting to see some of the most exciting young talents wearing the pinstripes on the biggest stage. One of the most talked about developments involves two promising prospects who have been drawing a lot of attention during spring training. Outfielder Spencer Jones and right-handed pitcher Elmer Rodriguez have officially been optioned to AAA, where they will begin the season continuing their development. The move sends both players to the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, a step that many observers expected, but that still carries some disappointment for those hoping to see these rising stars break into the major league roster immediately. Spencer Jones, in particular, has been one of the most exciting names to watch throughout the Yankees farm system over the past year. Standing at 6 feet 7 inches tall, the powerful outfielder has the kind of physical presence that instantly captures attention, and during this spring, he gave fans several reasons to get excited about what the future might hold. In a relatively small sample of 22 plate appearances, Jones delivered impressive results at the plate. He posted a batting average of .333, reached base at a rate above .450, and produced a massive slugging percentage close to .900. Those numbers came with 3 home runs that showcased exactly why many people inside the organization believe he could become a serious offensive weapon at the major league level. The ball jumps off his bat with authority, and when he connects cleanly, the power is undeniable. At the same time, the young outfielder also showed some of the challenges that naturally come with developing hitters. Over those appearances, he struck out 6 times while drawing 4 walks. A reminder that refinement is still part of the process as he prepares for the next step of his career. Despite those impressive flashes, the reality for Jones right now is that the Yankees simply have an outfield packed with established talent. When you look at the projected lineup, the competition becomes immediately clear. Aaron Judge remains the centerpiece of the outfield and one of the most dominant power hitters in baseball. Alongside him are experienced players like Cody Bellinger and Trent Grisham, both capable defenders who also bring significant offensive production to the lineup. With that level of depth already in place, the organization appears to believe that giving Jones everyday playing time in AAA is the smartest path forward. Instead of limiting his opportunities at the major league level or placing him in a part-time role, the Yankees want him to continue developing consistently while facing strong competition in the minor leagues. It is a decision that prioritizes long-term growth, even if it means fans will have to wait a little longer before seeing him in the Bronx. Interestingly, Jones himself seemed fully aware that this scenario was a possibility. Throughout the spring, he maintained a grounded perspective about his situation, acknowledging that the ultimate goal for the team is to compete for a championship. From his point of view, if the opportunity comes later in the season, it will be because the Yankees are putting themselves in the best possible position to win. That mindset reflects the kind of maturity the organization values as they continue shaping the future of their roster. While Jones generated a lot of headlines with his power at the plate, Elmer Rodriguez has quietly been making a strong impression on the pitching side. The right-handed pitcher has been climbing rapidly within the Yankees' prospect rankings, moving from 8th place last year to one of the top names in the system. His rise has been fueled by a combination of velocity, command, and a growing confidence on the mound that has caught the attention of coaches and evaluators alike. During his appearances in spring training, Rodriguez showed exactly why many scouts are so intrigued by his potential. His fastball reached 97 miles per hour on the radar gun, giving him the kind of velocity that can challenge hitters at any level. But what truly stood out was his changeup, a pitch that displayed sharp movement and kept opposing batters guessing throughout his outings. In 2 starts during the spring schedule, Rodriguez threw a total of 6 innings and allowed only 2 runs. He struck out 5 batters while issuing just 1 walk, demonstrating not only his ability to miss bats, but also his control within the strike zone. For a young pitcher still working his way through the system, Those numbers represent a strong step forward and suggest that he may not be far from contributing at the major league level. Even though he will begin the season in Triple-A, Rodriguez remains firmly on the radar as someone who could play an important role for the Yankees later in the year. Pitching depth often becomes critical over the long course of season, and the team is already dealing with several injury concerns among its starting pitchers. Because of that, the competition among young arms in the organization is becoming increasingly intense as everyone tries to position themselves for the next opportunity. The situation becomes even more intriguing when you consider the broader picture surrounding the Yankees' pitching staff right now. With a long season ahead and several key arms working their way back from injuries, the organization knows that depth will not just be important, it will be absolutely essential. That reality is one of the main reasons why young pitchers like Elmer Rodriguez are still very much part of the conversation when it comes to potential call-ups later in the year. Several names are already battling for opportunities behind the main rotation group, and the competition is fierce. Pitchers like Will Warren and Luis Gil are working to prove that they deserve a consistent role, while newly acquired left-hander Ryan Weathers is also trying to establish himself as a reliable option. Each outing in spring training and during the early months of the season could end up playing a major role in determining who gets the next opportunity if the Yankees need reinforcements on the mound. The urgency surrounding this competition becomes even clearer when we shift our attention to one of the biggest injury storylines the team has been dealing with during the offseason. Carlos Rodon, one of the most important pitchers in the Yankees rotation, has been working his way back after undergoing a procedure on his throwing arm. For months, fans have been anxiously waiting for updates about his recovery and whether he would be able to return to the mound without any setbacks. Now, there's finally some encouraging news. Rodon recently took a major step forward in his rehabilitation process by throwing a full inning of live batting practice before a spring training game. Facing live hitters again is always a significant milestone for any pitcher returning from surgery. And for the Yankees, it represents a moment of real optimism as they prepare for the upcoming season. This was the first time Rodon had pitched against live batters since the procedure he underwent earlier in the offseason. The surgery was performed to remove loose bodies and address a bone spur at his arm, an issue that required careful treatment in order to prevent long-term complications. The recovery process demanded patience from both the player and the organization, but the recent progress suggests that things are moving in the right direction. If everything continues according to plan, Rodon is currently expected to return to game action around early May. Of course, with injuries, there's always a degree of caution involved, and the Yankees will not rush their veteran pitcher back before he is completely ready. Still, the fact that he is already facing hitters again is an extremely positive development for a team that relies heavily on the strength of its starting rotation. It is worth remembering just how valuable Rodon was during the previous season. Over the course of 33 starts, he delivered one of the most consistent performances of his career. He finished the year with an earned run average of 3.09 and maintained an impressive 1.05 walks and hits per inning pitched. Those numbers highlight the level of control and effectiveness he brought to the mound every time he took the ball. Perhaps even more impressive was the number of victories he accumulated during that campaign. Rodon secured 18 wins, marking the highest total of his career and reinforcing his importance within the Yankees pitching staff. When he is healthy and performing at that level, he becomes a stabilizing force in the rotation, someone capable of setting the tone in critical moments throughout the season. His eventual return, however, also creates an interesting ripple effect across the rest of the roster. As Rodon moves closer to full health, pitchers currently competing for rotation spots understand that the window to secure their positions is narrowing. Once both Rodon and the team's ace Garrett Cole are fully available again, the structure of the rotation could change dramatically. At the moment, several spots in the rotation are still being evaluated, but the long-term picture is starting to come into focus. Max Fried is expected to play a major role near the top of the rotation, bringing both experience and reliability to the staff. Cam Schlittler has also been making a strong impression, positioning himself as another important arm for the early portion of the season. When you combine those names with the eventual returns of Rodon and Cole, it becomes clear that there will be very limited space remaining in the starting rotation. Realistically, there may be only one consistent spot available for the group of pitchers currently trying to prove themselves. That reality is fueling an intense internal competition, where every inning pitched could influence future decisions. Young arms like Will Warren and Luis Gil understand that strong performances could help them stay in the picture even after the rotation becomes more crowded. At the same time, prospects such as Carlos Lagrange and Elmer Rodriguez are continuing to develop in the minor leagues, knowing that injuries or roster adjustments can open doors at any point during the long major league season. For the Yankees organization, this depth is actually a very encouraging sign. Over the course of 162 games, it is almost impossible to rely on only 5 starting pitchers from beginning to end. Having multiple capable options ready to step in gives the team flexibility and protection against the unpredictable challenges that always arise throughout the year. As the final weeks before opening day continue to unfold, the front office and coaching staff will keep analyzing every detail. Every bullpen session, every spring training outing, and every update on injured players carries significance. The Yankees are trying to balance immediate competitiveness with long-term development, making decisions that not only affect the start of the season, but could also shape the trajectory of the entire year. Another storyline that continues to generate a lot of discussion inside the Yankees universe revolves around one of the most exciting young talents in the entire organization, Jason Dominguez. Known by many fans as the Martian because of his incredible athletic potential, Dominguez has been one of the most anticipated prospects in recent years. Many supporters were hoping that this would finally be the moment when he would begin the season with a major league roster, but the current situation suggests that path may have to wait a little longer. The main challenge for Dominguez right now is not a lack of talent, but rather the sheer amount of competition already present in the Yankees lineup. The outfield picture remains extremely crowded, with Aaron Judge continuing to anchor the group, while players like Cody Bellinger and Trent Grisham provide both defensive reliability and offensive production. On top of that, the designated hitter role is firmly occupied by Giancarlo Stanton, leaving very limited room for another bat to receive consistent opportunities at the major league level. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. A quiet shift may be brewing inside the infield of the New York Yankees, and it all centers on the possible return of Oswaldo Cabrera. Around the clubhouse and among scouts following the team closely, there's a growing sense that Cabrera's presence could subtly, but significantly, reshape the defensive puzzle in the Bronx. While nothing official has been declared, whispers around the organization suggest that Cabrera's versatility might once again become a strategic weapon. Known for his ability to move comfortably across multiple infield spots, Cabrera offers something the Yankees value deeply: flexibility. And in a season where lineup balance and defensive stability can define long stretches of momentum, that flexibility may suddenly carry more weight than expected. Several evaluators believe the Yankees coaching staff could be considering a domino effect if Cabrera reclaims a regular role in the dirt. His glove has long been regarded as reliable, and his instincts allow him to shift between second, third, and even shortstop when needed. That kind of mobility creates options, and options often lead to competition. Inside baseball circles, the speculation is that Cabrera's return might force the Yankees to rethink certain alignments. A subtle repositioning of one infielder could ripple across the entire unit, opening possibilities for rest rotations, matchup advantages, or even late-game defensive adjustments. There is also the intangible factor. Cabrera's energy has often been praised by teammates and staff alike. His presence tends to lift the pace of the defense, bringing a level of intensity that sometimes spreads through the lineup. In a long season, those emotional sparks can matter more than statistics alone. For now, the Yankees remain publicly calm about the situation, but within the rhythm of pre-game conversations and quiet analytical meetings, Cabrera's name appears to be circulating again. If the rumors hold even a grain of truth, the Yankees' infield configuration could soon look a little different, and perhaps a little more dynamic. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.